Just a minute, team. Let me turn off my video. Hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, yes, Suparna.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for joining. I know Santosh is already given a high level overview about all the fabric workloads. So now in this session two, majorly we are focusing on the data warehousing. This is short introduction about myself. So I do have 8+ years of experience in data analytics field. I am the founder of this next gen data aspirants community, and I am a Microsoft certified data analyst, analytics engineer, and data engineer associate. And I have been working with this retail, e-commerce, and energy banking domains. Now, so in this session two, what I am going to cover, so it's basically you will get the in-depth knowledge about complete data warehousing. Here you can see how we can get started with the data warehouse, and here how we can load the data, then followed by query the data, secure the data, and monitor the data warehouse. Fine. Now,
Babu,
how?
sorry to interrupt here. Would you share that slide?
No, slides are not shareable. This is instruction from Microsoft.
It's actually classified slides. So instead of slides, so we will share the session recordings in our social media platforms. Just you can check our platforms.
Okay, I thought you were sharing something and explaining. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, fine. Now here, see data warehouse fundamentals. Here you can see data warehouse is a place where you can load the data, you can store the data, and here you can store the data, process the data, and finally you can send this data to your BI team for the reporting purpose. For the reporting purpose. Now here you can see what is this fabric warehouses. You already know that in Azure we have there is a tool called SQL database. So SQL database, which is nothing but a warehouse. SQL database in Azure is nothing but a warehouse. Like, so if I can compare this warehouse, it is equivalent to your Azure SQL database. So here the warehouse is the storage engine would be the one lake where you can store all the data in one lake. From one lake you can brought the data to warehouse and lake house, and there is one more thing which is real-time intelligence for KQL database, and also you can use for Power BI dataset, and there are so many others are there. So it's basically a single centralized data lake. So here it will support completely for, here you can see TSQL language. See, you may ask, see we have lakehouse. Lakehouse would support for primarily SQL language, but here you cannot perform DML operations. DML operations. Okay. So just here you can use DQL, data query language. But if you are going and doing any alterations, updation, deletion, modifications, that won't allow in Lakehouse with the help of SQL, because Lakehouse is built on top of the Delta tables. It won't allow you. So, but you can do alterations, modifications, and everything in the data warehouse. Fine. Now, creation of a data warehouse. How you can create the data warehouse? You can go to the Fabric workspace. So from there, first you need to create a workspace. After workspace, here there will be one thing called new item. If you click on that, here right side there will be a window. From there you can select. This is actually a world user interface snapshot. From here also you can directly create a Fabric warehouse. Fine. Now, next, in how we can design a data warehouse. See, every project and in everywhere in data-driven technologies, there will be a standard practice, there will be a standard practice, and there will be a standardization of tables, which is called fact tables and dimension table. Now, here the question is, what is fact table? See, fact table is a table where you will consist actual business information. So now, let's come to the dimension table. What is dimension table? Dimension table is a table where you will have the lookup data. You will have the lookup data to connect with the respective fact table. So let's say here I have a fact table called Amazon sales data. So in that I have customer name, region, country. So instead of going and putting this customer name, region names, in fact, what I will do, I will use dimension table belong with some keys. So after building a schema, I'll connect between this fact and dimension with that hash keys, which is nothing but a common columns. So now here you can see there are two type of columns. One is surrogate key and one is alternate key. We will see in subsequent slides what is this in detail. Now let's see, and there are special type of dimensions also, which is time dimensions and slowly changing dimensions. Time dimensions is nothing but, here let's say if you have a data set, you need to uh, you would like to perform some reporting for the trend analysis. For that you can go and create calendar separate calendar table and slowly changing dimensions. We will see, we have separate slides for this slowly changing dimensions. We will see this in subsequent slides. Fine. Now first of all, when you are building a schema, there are two standard type of schemas. There are two standard type of schemas. The first one is which is star schema. The first one is which is star schema. It doesn't mean that it look like star. So here what would happen if you see one fact table surrounded by many dimension tables, one fact table surrounded by many dimension tables. In fact table we have actual business information, in dimension table we have lookup information, in dimension table we have lookup information. This is the standard schema every organization in every data engineer will follow in the real time. Now let's talk about next schema, which is snowflake schema, see snowflake schema, here you will get a fact table and there are some dimension tables, which is connected indirectly with fact table via some other this dimension tables. Let's say here in this case, let's say this geography is not directly connected with fact table, it is connected through dimension customer table, so snowflake schema also, when you there is a some limitations, some restrictions, in that case you can go and use this star schema. And there is one more schema is also there, galaxy or bridge schema, so that also you may implement. Fine. Now here you can see how you can ingest the data in data warehouse. Fine. Now here you can see there are, first one is fabric pipelines. So how we have a Azure data factory, which is we can build the pipelines in Azure, pipelines in Azure. So here also we have fabric pipelines, we have FDF, which is nothing but fabric data factory. And the second tool is fabric data flow gen 2. See, data flows two types. One is gen 1 and another one is gen 2. So gen 1 is a legacy tool. Maybe already they rolled out an announcement, Microsoft people. So maybe we may expect in next year they are going to retire this gen 1. So because gen 2 is a advanced capabilities as compared to the gen 1. See, and one more thing, data flows is nothing but if you are familiar with, there is one workload Power Query editor in our Power BI. I can call this as a online Power Query editor. Online Power Query editor, and you can do the some cross database querying, and you can use some CT as command, copy into command. With that, you can bring the data into data warehouse. All right. Now here also, here there is a concept, you can clone the tables. If you are having the similar kind of tables, you can, with the help of cloning tables concept, you can copy the metadata and you can use for development and testing, you can use for data recovery, and you can build the historical reports based on this data warehouse tables. Fine. Next, querying the data. See, here you can see, this is how, here you can see, this is how data warehouse SQL user interface will look like. So here, just like that, here you can see schemas. There is DBO schema and there is guest schema. These are all default schemas. Now in this, there is a table section. Here we have four tables. Four tables. Four is gold and one other one is silver. And you can directly create tables. You can create views, you can create scalar functions, you can create stored procedures like your SSMS, you can create everything here. And see, here there is something, they are creating a view on top of the this fact sales dimension, this date gold and customer gold table. They are creating a separate view, and they are maybe they are passing this to the creating for the reporting purpose. That's what, as I mentioned, it's like using SSMS. It's like using SSMS or Azure Data Studio. Here you will get some intelligence. What is meant by intelligence? When you are writing the code, it will give you some suggestions. It will give you some suggestions. And code completion, syntax highlighting. Here you can see it is highlighting the keywords in a blue color. And there are some parsing values and validation, and it will validate the your query also. If it is wrong, maybe let's say here you written in place of from, you can use FRAM, then here it will show some error because the query validate, and here you need to change from to from to from. Fine. Now visualize the queries. See, if you are good at SQL coding, then there is no issue. Okay, now you feel, oh no, I am not very much good at SQL, so I would like to see the I would like to do the transformations with the help of user interface. So in that case you can go with visual queries. In that case you can go with visual queries. So visual queries is nothing but what you need to do. So here this is you can see this in data flow gen 2 also. You need to drag the table. See here, first the source followed by database table, and later here what they did, they joined this. After joining, again source database, and they perform one step which is merge operations. Again expanded the product. Again they did some filtering. Again they did some filtering. It's like a no code low code. It means with the help of user interface of this visual queries, with the help of user interface this visual queries, you no need to write any single line of code. Just you can use drag and drop. It's kind of your similar power query experience. Right click on this. Here you can choose, let's say I would like to remove some columns. Okay, you can remove. Just I would like to sort it ascending. I can select this, or else I can use the merge queries as you. It's all over. This visual queries is similar to our power query experience, where you can do this many operations, and there are many more are there, and there are many more operations are there. Fine. Now once if you clean the data, once the data is ready, first you need to build a relationship. You need to build a relationship. Let's say as I talk, there is a Amazon sales. There is a Amazon sales. I have fact table. In that fact I have region, customer, and country. So for that what I did in this fact, along with we have sales profit, I will create another region dim table, customer dim table, country dim table, along with the key column. Now I will join this. I will join this with the help of which is nothing but relationship, which is nothing but relationship. So with the help of proper key column, you need to join. You need to join. I mean, you need to make a relationship between the fact table and dimension table. You need to make a relationship between the fact table and dimension table, and but make sure you should have appropriate key column. Without key column, even God cannot build relationship between the fact and this dimension table. But you should have minimum appropriate key column. Fine. Now let's understand about semantic model. Once if you build the relationship between the fact to dimensions, so now once if you create any warehouse, it would by default create a semantic model. By default it would create a semantic model. So in that semantic model, see here, if you see, there are some key columns which is customer key, product key, sales order key, sales order date key, sales order key. So here what you can do, you can use friendly column names, hide columns or tables from view. Let's say if you are going and creating, let's say this is key column, just here we will not get any business information. We will not get any business information. So here what you need to do, just you can go and hide these columns. Why are you going and showing this? You can go and hide these columns. Basically this semantic model would be helpful for our Power BI users to build the reports and dashboards. Fine. Now once semantic model is ready, the flow how it will go, on top of the semantic model you can build the report. You can build the report, which is one of the famous BI intelligence tool, which is called Power BI. So see here, you can see on top of that semantic model they built this report. Here they are shown something sales by region for the financial year 2024, for the financial year 2024. Fine. Now let's talk about just a minute. Let's talk about security. See, in data warehouse, we have different data type of securities. One is role based access control. Then the another one is SSL encryption. So Azure storage service, and followed by, you can see these are all MFA, Microsoft Entra ID integration. Now we will see in detail what is this security overview. So first, before going to that, here you can see workspace. See, whenever if you are going to build any pipelines or any report in Power BI, you need to create something called workspace. You need to create something. If you are going to build the same in Azure, you need to create something called RG. What is meant by RG? Resource group. You need to create resource group. It's like your resource group. So in this you can create folders, you can do anything. But for this workspace, basically there are four type of roles, which is admin, contributor, member, and viewer. So this is as similar as like that your Power BI roles. So admin, which is having the supreme of the workspace, he can able to control all the things in the workspace. Contributor, he has the similar kind of privileges, but he cannot add another admin, or and he can grant the access to member viewer. Next, member, this is member, and contributor will create the reports, edit the reports, and he can share the reports. But while coming to the viewer is like just audience. They are sitting in the theater, they are watching the film. Okay, they are sitting in the theater watching the film. Now let's come to the items. Let's say warehouse, lake house, reports, dashboards, and semantic models. Here you will have separate access called item level access. You will have separate access called item level access. So for this, what you will get? So here you have three. For SQL analytics endpoint, you have three type of access: read data, read all. Read means basically can perform only select star commands. Read data means they can view the data, they can read the data. Read all means they can edit, alter, everything they can do. These are the security. Basically it would be applicable for SQL analytics endpoint and one lake also. One lake also you can implement the similar kind of roles. Fine. Now let's see how we can load the data into warehouse. So now here you can see there is a one famous word ETL, which stands for extract, transform, and load. Here, this is everyone knows. First, you need to extract the data, then transform the data, then load the data. And there is one more thing called ELT. So few projects, they will extract the data. First, they will load the data, and they will transform the data. Once if it is done, later you can apply some performance tuning options. You can optimize it. You can do it everything. Fine. Now, how we can store the data? Here you can see this diagram is representing extract, transform, load. Once if it is done, you can use staging layer also. So once if it is completed, directly loading into data warehouse, you can use some staging layer. You can put, and here all, just a minute, all customer related data you can put it in one rack, and all product information data you can put it on rack. Later you can consume, you can share this with your end users, which is Power BI developers, So basically this staging and data warehouse will simplify your load operations. Now when you are loading the data, make sure that we have two type of loads. The first thing is full load, which is call it as a initial load. Full load, which is call it as a initial load. So here what you can do, you can load the data. It will take some long time. Why? Because you are doing the full load. It means that let's say you have 1 million rows, it will take some time, and no history is stored. And here it is best for initial load. Initial load it is best. Now let's come to the incremental load. Incremental load is nothing but, let's say now we are on the July. I have data from 1st Jan this year 2026 to again June 2026. So with the full initial load, first I loaded this data. Later when I am going and loading, once this July month is over, I am going and loading. If I can again initiate full load, then it will take all the data from 1st Jan to till 31st July 20. Instead of that, I will go with incremental load concept, which will just load only July 2026 data. So here, based on the timestamp, it will won't take much time, faster updates, and based on the timestamp column, you can do the incremental load. Fine. Now here, if we talk about these keys, if we talk about this case, surrogate key, what is meant by surrogate key? Here you can see it is a unique identifies and instead of dimension entity. It means that, see, in a customer table, you all are there, me also there. For me, they assigned 123. For someone, they assigned 124. For Mahesh, they assigned 125. But here, customer key, you can see again 126. For, let's say, for Gopi they assigned 126. So customer key should be a unique, it's a surrogate key in customer dimension. But while coming to the alternate key, here let's say 123 me, this is something customer key they will give based on the operational source system from where I am operating. Let's assume I am currently in Bangalore. So at the time they given the customer key is a B543. Let's say after 2 months I shifted to Hyderabad. See the similar kind here. Let's say they will change this H543. It means from Bangalore to Hyderabad I shifted. So obviously my address will change. So that for tracking purpose, they will change this alternative key. They will change this alternative key. Fine. Now create this one. See how you can create the tables. See the same way it's everyone knows. You can use create table, table name, column name, data type, and you can specify is there any constraint. Again column name, data type, column name, data type. Here the same way how you can create table in SSMS, the same way here you can create in the data warehouse also. Fine. Now next, let's talk about slowly changing dimensions. So here you can see slowly changing dimensions. Ideally, till I mean 2 to 3 years ago we have only till 4. Recently, see it went up to 6. Slowly changing dimensions. 0. First, let's talk about 0. It will never change. Next, 1. 1 means overwrite no history. Let's say, as I mentioned, when I shifted from Bangalore to Hyderabad, automatically in Bangalore row it will overwrite with Hyderabad. It means that it is overwriting. It will not preserve the where I stayed in the past. Where I stayed in the past. So this is CDC. So SCD1. Next, SCD2. It will append, track the changes. It will append. Let's say that's what. Let first I am living in Bangalore. I shifted to Hyderabad. So the next minute it will enter a row like this. Previously we seen here. This is like slowly changing dimension 2. Next, then it will add a history column when I was changed and what date, what time, and everything it will create. And slowly changing dimension 4, it will create separate new dimension table. It will create separate new dimension table. And if I talk about this 5 and 6 are, it's like type 2 for large changes. Type 2 for is there any bulk changes, and 6 is combination of type 2 and type 3. So it is combination of type 2 and type 3. So basically in real time, usually everyone will follow this slowly changing dimensions too. Now that's what here we have the example for there is a dim product. See here what they are doing. It is existing product record and it is new product record. So here the thing is, let me tell you one layman example. See you purchased a water bottle. You purchased a water bottle last year that is red color, red color. So later what you did, again you are going to purchase the same water bottle with blue color. So here what's happening, if you are using SCD1 it will override the red. It will override. If you are using SCD2 it will keep this row also, it will keep this row with the latest date. Let's say I purchased in a 1st Jan 2025. Now this year I am purchasing in a 7th July 2026. Now it will, with this date identification, it will keep this row and it will keep the history and it will track the new changes also. It will track the new changes also. Now loading the fact tables. Here you can see, I hope you all aware of this syntax. So here with the help of this insert tables, with the help of this insert commands, you can load the data into fact tables. So here you can use surrogate keys, you can use current flag, start date and end dates. With the help of and start date and end dates, you can load the data into these fact tables. Now Here you can see this is sample user interface of your data warehouse. From here, see, if you click on the drop down, I think it's a older screenshot. Here it is showing only two data flow gen to data pipeline. With the help of this, you can brought the data into data warehouse. There is one thing called copy data activity. It is exactly like your Azure Data Factory copy data activity, and you can schedule it, you can use the parameters, and you can delete the data also. You can delete the data also. See here, you can see new visual query. This is already we discussed it. This is new visual query. You can build directly new report, and we will see this new measures and all in our subsequent slides. Fine. Now, the famous copying data, copy activities, copy data assistant. So copy data assistant is like that. Here you can choose first data source. Let's say here NYX taxi green, NYX taxi green. So now here, once if you choose, you can connect to data source. Then you need to specify the destination. Then you need to connect to the data destination. Then if all the things is clear, directly you can click on the next. You can connect to, you can push the data with the help of copy data assistant. Let's say Azure blob storage. Your data is in the Azure blob. You can take this as a data source. You can take this as a data source, and data fabric data warehouse is your data destination. So here you can bring with the help of copy data assistant from blob to fabric data warehouse. Fine. Now how you can load the data into TSQL with the help of some uh, connection strings are this one. See, this is like if you are familiar with blob storage, this is like blob core windows.net. In that there is a container folder. In that we have star means all the CSV files. Star means all the CSV files. We are loading the CSV file. In the same way, we can load the Parquet file. It's just ending with star.parquet. So here from external Azure storage, with the help of copy statement, this copy into my table from this one with file type CSV, you need to pass some SAS keys and SAS token, and you can copy the data from Azure to data warehouse with the help of this copy statement. Fine. Now loading from other data sets. When I say other data set, let's say in your Fabric workspace, you have another data warehouse. In there, there are some dimension. You are going to bring that into, let's say, sales data warehouse. So with the help of CTAS, CTAS stands for create table as select. With the help of this, you can brought the data. You can brought the data. So into another data warehouse, it is nothing but cross database querying or cross workspace querying. Cross workspace querying. Fine. Now next, let's see data flow gen 2. In data flow gen 2, so it's that's what I'm mentioning. It is a online Power Query editor. It is a online Power Query editor. So here you can see in this online Power Query editor, what you can do first, you can data with data flows. So let's say this is lake house. From lake house in data flow gen 2, you can bring the data and you can perform and you can transform the data. Later you can push this to the data warehouse. That's what you, the difference between data flow gen 1 and data flow gen 2, data flow gen 2, sorry, data flow gen 2 is, here you will have a luxury to push your data to destination. See here, we have data destination option. We have data destination option. But in data flow gen 2, we don't have data destination option. So here it will support a very good number of data destinations. If time permits, I'll show you in Fabric. Okay, so here you can see connect data source. As I mentioned, you can perform the append or replace the similar kind of whatever Power Query transformations, append queries, merge queries, and splitting columns, merging columns, and everything. You can do it, and you can add the destination. See, as of now, these are the destinations, which is Lakehouse, Warehouse, Azure SQL Database, Azure Data Explorer, Azure Synapse Analytics, and you can publish. Once if you here, you can choose data destination. You can publish this to the your data destination. Fine. Now here, so far we discussed about only data warehouse, destination, copy tool, and SQL language. But where is AI is playing the key role? Here you can see Microsoft inbuilt tool, which is nothing but Copilot, inbuilt AI tool. So it is integrated in everywhere. not only in Fabric Data Factory or Fabric. If you can go currently in these teams also, we have Copilot. You can once this meeting is over, you can ask the Copilot, you please summarize the meeting points. It will summarize. It will summarize like this with the help of this query. See here, transform the gender column. If male is 0, if female is 1, then convert it to integer. So automatically here what happened? It is converted. So but there is a limitation. You may ask, for Fabric trial license, can I get Copilot? The answer is no. The answer is no. If you would like to use Copilot features, which is AI features, you should have at least F2 capacity, minimum F2 paid capacity. If you have only F2 capacity, then only you can able to use your Copilot. This is what some restrictions, some limitation from the Microsoft Fabric. Because if you they are granting everyone will use, maybe they will incur more cost to the Microsoft. That's why they restricted for the free trial license. They restricted for the free trial licenses. Fine. Now let's see how we can query the data in Microsoft Fabric. See here, you can create the aggregated dimensions. You can create the aggregated dimensions. See here, you can see here what's happening. We are taking calendar year, calendar quarter, and we are doing total sales. We are doing total sales. So in this, so we have multiple tables. I'm joining with this fact sales with dim date on date key column, and here I am using the group by calendar year, calendar quarter. Why? Because before aggregations, whatever the write, we need to write it with the help of group by, and later I am going to order it by calendar year and calendar quarter in a ascending format. So like this, you can create the aggregated measure with the help of dimensions. Now here you can see there are some joins in Snowflake schema. So here you can see you can use multiple joins. You can use multiple joins. Here what's happening, product category wise, I am going to create one new table, how many items sold. So in this I am joining fact tables with dim product on product key and product key. Again I'm joining these two with dim category with category key and category. See, it means here I'm joining more than two tables. Here I am joining more than two tables, and followed by I am grouping it and I am ordering it. I am ordering it. Fine. Now here this is very important, and it's my favorite functions in SQL. Row number. It means it's a window functions. We call it as a window functions. Okay, it is a window function. Basically, it will help you to get the some rankings. Some rankings. Let's say there is a customer, there is a sales. So I would like to see the fifth rank customer based on the sales. What I will do, we can use this window functions. Basically there are row number, rank, dense rank. This is something entire. This would applicable to only SQL server. This is not presented in MySQL. This is not presented in MySQL. And there are two remaining. I think that is first value and second value. There are two other window functions. Now here you can see row number. So here what will give you is it will give you the row number. For each row it will give you 1111 row number. And rank will give you the ranks, and it will, if there is a tie rank, so what it will do, it will skip the rank. Then while coming to the dense rank, it will, if there is any tie, it will ignore the rank. It will start from there. Here you can see there is sample syntax. Here what's happening, they are assigning the row number for this category product name with the help of this list price, and this here they are doing rank based on the dense rank, this entile and this one. Fine. Now next, here SQL editor. Here you can see SQL editor. Just a minute. Here uh, just a minute. Here you can see they are showing some small demo. Just a minute. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry. So now see here in this video, see they are showing something. Here what you can do, here you can write your TSQL language with the you can drag tables or views, functions and stored procedures. So here it will support for IntelliSense and it will store in micro. See, let's say you created one query. So that query automatically will save in this query. Again, you take in one more SQL query too. Again, if you did some query, again it will save this as a SQL query too, where you will track all your queries here, where you will track all your queries here. Now here you can see you can save your results two type. You can save as a view or else you can save as a Excel file also. That's what here they are showing in this. See, here you can see first here they are saving as a view. See here what they are doing. See, they are going here. See, new SQL query. So we can save this as a view. And from here, there is option called download Excel file. From here, there is option called download Excel file. You can directly this as a Excel file for your internal analysis. Now, let's see visual query. See here, they are showing some samples. See, they are dragging the file. See, automatically it would generate a visual query. Automatically it would generate a visual query. Again, they are choosing the columns. They are choosing only particular columns. In this demo here, you can see they are selecting payment type, fare amount, surcharge amount. Once if they select, see, automatically it is expanded the visual query. Automatically it is expanded the visual query and it is showing everything. Again, they are sorting it. They are sorting the columns based on some column. Let's see what column. It is sorted the rows based on the fare amount. This is how you can use. That's what, as I mentioned earlier, here you can see it's a graphical user interface, automatic query generation, and you can save this as a table or view. You can save this as a table or view. So here you can see save as table. You can download this as a Excel file. You can download this as a Excel file, and also here you can see save as view. That option is available here. Fine. Now next, see, you can, so can I connect that data warehouse with my this SSMS? Definitely, why not? You can open your SQL Server SMSs. You can pass your SQL connection string from the data warehouse directly. You can use that with the help of this MFA authentication. You can connect it. See here, you can see this is data warehouse connection string. This is sample data warehouse. In that we have this many tables. You can directly do transformations and everything. So automatically it will sync to your Fabric data warehouse. Now let's come to the most important topic, DAX calculation. This is my favorite topic. So DAX. So you all thought that only I can create the DAX in Power BI or in Power BI services in semantic models. But here from data warehouse also directly you can create the DAX measures. Directly you can create the DAX measures. So here you can see from this you can create the DAX measures with the help of this new measure. With the help of this new measure. Here what happened? Here they took variables. So calculate sum of sales dates YTD. Basically they are calculating the month on month sales. They are calculating the month on month sales. Fine. Now next
question. I have a question on the DAX one. Now, DAX is supported basically on an analytic model, right? So Power BI has got a really an SSAS engine there, which is SQL Server Analysis Services. So how does Fabric support DAX calculation on a table?
See, on a table means it will does not directly this it would not load into Fabric table. Here once if your data you build a schema on top of the schema in data warehouse, in on top of the schema, here on top of the semantic model you can create the new measure. You can create the new measure. It doesn't mean that this month over month sales will be directly go and added in a TSQL table. It will add to your this model. It will add to your this model.
Yeah, that was a question. So the
Hmm.
semantic model is
Hmm.
basically like an analysis services model, right?
Hmm.
Is that
Yes.
right?
No, no, yes, no. That semantic model you can use it many ways. There are different type of modes. Analysis means that I can understand you. You can use it import mode, direct query, direct lake. In Fabric, we have there is something called direct lake mode. In this way, you can use this measures in the direct lake mode.
So that means in our pipeline, say for example, we have got the lakehouse, and from the lakehouse we are loading it into Synapse, and on top of Synapse we have built a semantic model. Do we need to refresh the semantic model every time in the pipeline as well?
No, not required.
So once the underlying Synapse layer is updated, the semantic model automatically gets refreshed?
Yes, yes, it would refresh automatically. That's what they come up with a new mode that is called direct lake mode.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. So now let's see how we can monitor. See, so far what we discussed, just we are creating the tables, we are building the tables, building the schemas, writing the code, building the star schema mode, snowflake schema. But how we can monitor? See, everything comes with some, which is nothing but cost. You need to limit your cost. Your organization doesn't allow, I want f56 capacity, I want f64 capacity. Based on the your needs, you need to monitor, you need to restrict unlimited, I mean unnecessary queries. You need to restrict unnecessary queries. As part of that, here you can see there is something called fabric capacity metrics app. Fabric capacity metrics app. Here you can see this is sample capacity metric app. Here you can see in this. So here what was the consumption, data set consumption, it means CUs. Here the filter is applicable to CUs, warehouse, lake house. Next, so here you can see what was the last 14 days, how many CUs. See here you can see there is something fabric capacity matrix preview which is highlighted in it is. See here you can see billable, both billable and performance delta, item size. So here where you will get all the monitoring. Basically this is accessible for only fabric admins. This is accessible for only fabric admins. So where you will feel, when you are working, your refresh is taking more long time for semantic model or some other thing. So almost your capacity is consumed, automatically you will get an update from your fabric admin. Why are you refreshing again and again? It is consuming more CUs and it is incurring more cost. It is incurring more cost to the our capacity. Like that you will get a update from your fabric admin. Now here you can see warehouse operation categories. So here you can see there are some operations, warehousing query. So warehousing query, the CUs, it is consuming this much, 5 users are using, and duration is this much. And here SQL analytics endpoint, you can see this much CUs are consuming, this much duration in seconds. Users are 6. Users are 6 users. Like this, here you can see different things. See background, interactive percentage, non-billable. Like this. This is moreover it is related to Fabric admin. Moreover, it is related to Fabric admin. Here you can check, but you should have access. Then only you can able to access this. Now, next, let's see cross database reporting, some and all. Here you can see monitoring the current query activity. Let's say here you can see there are some sample queries. Let's say in your team 4 developers are there, they are running some queries and you are the team lead and you need to monitor what they are doing. If you would like to see what is the long running queries, just you can use this. So request ID, session ID, start time, total elapsed time. So here you can see, so based on this what is the long running queries. And here you can see for session ID, you can see this. Based on this, here you will get the which user is using, then terminate the session. Let's say if it is taking some time, long time, it is not getting the rendering the results. So what you can do with this command, you can terminate the session, but this is applicable to only admin. This is applicable to only admin. See, there are some queries, don't think that I am running, no one is seeing, because there is a big boss back behind you. They will track you what you are doing. They will track you what you are doing. Now this is something called query insights. This is something called query insights. See what is the queries which run from previous hour. What is the queries which run from previous hour with the help of this start time and get UTC date. This is long running queries or multiple runs. This is sample snapshot of long running queries and multiple runs and frequently running queries. So let's say I would like to know what are the my teammates are frequently running the queries. So with the help of this code, I would like to get frequently running queries. Fine. Next, let's talk about security. Let's talk about security. See here, you can see, let me tell you, everyone will have their own credit cards and email ID, some phone numbers. So in this, when your client is sharing your report, or if you are going to share this report to something, no one will share you credit card number, no one expose their credit card data. For that there is a topic called data masking. For that there is a topic called data masking. So masking is a concept where you will prevent the, you will mask the data with the end users or with the restricted users. You can use like this cross mark. You can just display last 4-digit numbers. You can display last 4-digit numbers. If you would have an observed in your internet banking also, it will cross mark. When you open your digital ATM card, first it will show like this. At the end it will show only last 4 digits. Now here you can see masking rules. This is, let's say, first by default you can apply full mask. You can apply full mask. Let's say there is a restricted data. Let's say Aadhaar card. Let's say I'll take Aadhaar card. You can restrict it fully because that is a sensitive information in India. If you are from India, Aadhaar card is a identity card. Aadhaar card is a identity card. Next, email. For email, let's say ABC kumar@gmail.com. So you can just mask this abc.kumar, then custom test. So you can specify how many characters you can mask it. You can, with the help of n, custom text means you can specify it. And random, with the help of some random queries, you can randomly alternative word or after 2 words you can mask it. Fine. Now here there are some few examples to for dynamic data masking. Here you can see there is a table. There is a table email. There are two emails. Salary is there. See here what's happening. Select email salary from employees. So there is a user called Kim. So if they log in, they will see. First of all, once what I did here, I'll alter the table column email masked with the column email, and I will alter the employee masked with this one, masked with this one. Grant unmask. If I give grant unmask, so then only Kim will able to see this. See, for Kim, she had access, but for others there is no access. Let's say for Gopi, for Ajay, they don't have access to this. So that automatically they will see like this because this is masked. Because this is masked. Fine. Now let's talk about row level security, which is RLS. So row level security, you can apply it to row level. You can apply it to row level. In Fabric Warehouse also, you can apply the row level security as like in our Power BI semantic models. Now, how to implement row level security? Here, there are some predefined functions. There are some predefined functions. With the help of that, let me show that to you. Here you can see there is a scenario. Sales representative can only see the associated orders in the sales table. Okay. Here what you can do, you can use this one. You can, with the help of, you can create a function. You can create a function with the help of this schema binding. You can use sales representative equal to username. Let's say I am logging with my login, so corresponding sales only I can able to see, because that corresponding rows would be filtered. That's what it is meant by RLS, row level security. It's not a CLS, column level security. See here you can see, you can update also. You can select, update, delete comments is also there. Next, again, you can use column level security also. See here, I'm granting the select on only orders to this one. First, I'm granting the for querying the orders column to Mary. Later, what I am doing, I am denying the for using credit card column. I am denying. I mean, I don't want to query the Mary to credit card column. For her, what will happen? Automatically, this credit card column will not appear in her table. Fine. This is how it will work. See here, for Mary, it will show error, but non-restricted user. Here you can see, let's say I am the non-restricted user. I can able to see the credit card. But for Mary, if she can query, so this credit card is not found. Now, see, these are the some granular permissions. You can use grant, deny, revoke. Okay, fine. So with that, this data warehouse session is ended. So now I am opening the floor for any questions before going into the next third session.
Suparna, just one doubt I have. Like